Hello and welcome to this month's edition of Goldengloves Boxing. On our website we talk Thomas Oosthuizen, Thabiso Mchunu, Call to Glory. It's a huge fight on the 1st of September. Local is lekker, as they say, and this is a big local fight. I've got two award-winning journalists with me. Bongani Magasela on the left-hand side, and David Isaacson, of course, has been on our panel before. Bongani, let me start with you. This is a huge local fight. When last did we have such a big local fight?
It's been long, Brian, but what matters most is that, such matchups actually talk to the boxing fraternity.
Absolutely.
There are questions that need to be answered. Like, for an example, people are still asking today, what would have happened if Brian Mitchell fought Dinga? So Goldengloves is actually responding to those questions. And what is more important is that September 1st reminds us of what Goldengloves did in 2000. Giving Dinga the opportunity to fight for the WBC title, which he won. So it will be a very good day, an important day for South Africans to actually watch two of the best, cruiserweight fighters in the division.
I'm going to get back to you in a second to ask you more about that fight. David Isaacson, welcome. David, you've been on our panel before. Obviously, you're an award-winning journalist like Bongani. It's a huge local fight. As I said, local is lekker. And don't you think it's great that the best guys are fighting each other? It's not where you're getting Tommy Oosthuizen, a guy from the Philippines or whatever, or you're putting Thabiso Mchunu against an average guy from anywhere in Europe. The two best South African cruiserweights, other than Kevin Larina, of course, are facing each other.
Well, absolutely, and I think that's a big attraction with the fight, because if you do go back in local ring history, the fights, whether you're talking Beloy and Du or Scarly Makapula, those were fights that people wanted to see, and they were huge fights. But this also makes it interesting, because I think nobody really knows what's going to happen. Yeah, people have an idea, but I think it's definitely not an obvious result.
No, not at all. Now that the fight's been signed and it's happening, Call to Glory on the 1st of September at Empress Palace, everybody's obviously asking me what I think about the fight. Tommy's a friend of mine, Harold's my former trainer, great friend of mine. So obviously I'm a bit biased. I'm going to lean towards Tommy because of his speed, his hand speed. But it's a 50-50 fight. If Thabiso Mchunu comes to the party, he can crack. He's a good boxer. He was a great amateur. He's internationally well known. He's a bigger guy than Tommy. It's a 50-50 fight. That's whoever comes to the party. Bongani, talk to us.
Yeah, the pressure is on Thabiso. Reason being that already is rated highly by the WBC. So he's going to go in there and actually prove to the WBC sanctioning committee that I am ready, in fact, ratings committee, I am ready to move up to, maybe to the top 10. But at the same time, Tommy Oosthuizen would want to redeem himself.
Absolutely.
Look, in his last fight, he lost the title he once held, the IPO light heavyweight title. We don't know what happened on the night, and look, surely he wouldn't want to lose to Thabiso Mchunu, especially bearing in mind that Tommy is yet to lose against a South African in South Africa.
That's
but
true.
At the same time, the question is Thabiso actually the right kind of opponent to bring the best of Tommy Oosthuizen? It remains to be seen, because Thabiso fights in spades. There's an element of comfort zone. He doesn't want to get involved. He just wants to survive. He wants to leave the ring looking clean, smart, and all that. You've got two counterpart punchers. None of these two fighters actually want to initiate the actual action.
And of course, they're southpaws.
That's right.
Southpaws are counter-punchers.
No.
You can't have two guys going backwards.
That's
you need
right.
both guys have got to come forward.
Yes.
Thabiso Mchunu's got to up his work rate.
He has
Tommy Oosthuizen can't go on the back foot and think he's going to run away the whole night and win the fight. Both of these guys, David, have to come to fight.
Well, at least one of them has to come to fight.
Yeah, the one that wants to win. Yeah.
But in a way, it kind of reminds me of the Botile-Beloy fight, thinking back, where Botile could be possibly Tommy Oosthuizen. Is he over the hill or not? And in that fight, Botile was winning in the early rounds until he kind of ran out of steam, and then Beloy took control. And that's the type of fight that suits Thabiso.
Yes.
So, so maybe it kind of could go like that. But But I think with Tommy's reach advantage, he might be encouraged to at least try opening up.
And Tommy's got the speed,
Yeah.
he's got the footwork, he's got the reach advantage, like you say. But he's got to come to the party. He's fighting a cruiserweight now. Tommy was a super middleweight, a great super middleweight, 7-8-time winner of the super middleweight IBO belt. He won a light heavyweight IBO title, but now he's fighting a bigger guy. Doesn't matter that the guy is shorter. You know, a lot of people ask me, Bongani, I was always shorter than most of my opponents. But boxing is not about height.
Yeah.
If you've got height and you're Tommy Hearns and you can crack on the outside, fine. But it's not about height, it's about closing the space, getting your own range. Look at the great baby Jake McClellan. He closed you down and he beat you. How do you see the fight going, Bongani?
It's interesting that you mentioned yourself fighting taller guys. You were not called the Raging Bull because of nothing. You went
Because I was a pressure.
you're a pressure fighter, and you made life very difficult for those taller guys not to be able to use their
To use the
The
advantage.
question is, will Thabiso be able to? He can do that.
Yes.
You know, it depends which Thabiso comes out on the night.
Comes to the party.
Thabiso Mchunu, who fought Ilunga Makabu, beats Tommy Oosthuizen easily. But
The
the
first-
question is, will it be that Thabiso Mchunu coming out on the
The
night?
Thabiso that fought him in the first 5 rounds.
That's right.
Ilunga
It remains to be
Makabu.
seen, you know.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. And he's a good boxer. I mean, you know boxing, you've been in a long time. He was a brilliant amateur, not Lunga Makabu, Thabiso Mchunu, brilliant amateur. And he's been a good pro. He just blows hot and cold. He needs to up his game and work on the work rate. And he needs to close Tommy down. And Tommy, the same thing, he has to come forward and fight Thabiso in the middle of the ring. He can't run away and win the fight. He's got to come and close, in my opinion, to win the fight.
Look, if Tommy can get away with just using his jab, I think that's what he's gonna.
Well, the in and
he's
out,
gonna
I
do.
suppose.
But you know, Thabiso generally does rise to the occasion when fighting South African fighters. Certainly the last few years.
David?
And he took Johnny Muller apart. He won every minute of every round against Johnny.
Absolutely, he
And
does. He looked brilliant.
Look, I think Tommy's obviously a few notches above Johnny when it comes to talent,
His skills
but,
and talent, absolutely.
and skills. But Tommy's coming back from a layoff from drugs, etc. He's got a lot to prove.
Yes, absolutely. And as you were saying, Bongani, that Thabiso's already number 7 or 8 in the world in the WBC. So it's Tommy that needs to come and prove himself more than Thabiso. But somebody needs to win. And Thabiso doesn't want to lose against Tommy, I would imagine. He's going to lose that WBC rating. And vice versa, Tommy needs to get into the WBC and get back to winning ways. Give us an opinion who's going to win the fight.
I'm leaning towards Thabiso. Yeah.
Thabiso winning on points?
Probably points. Yeah.
How do you think he's going to do it? Huh?
I think he's going to come to the party. He's going to fight like he fought against
Johnny Muller.
Kabu and Muller and,
Muller.
and that. And I think Tommy will do right in the early rounds, but you know, question mark over stamina and
Who's
and
going
that
to be
could
better
just
in the later
count
rounds?
against him. But obviously, I mean, if Tommy comes in and he's the real Tommy gun, then okay, it's a different thing. But
So
you
you
asked me
went
for an
to
opinion. I'm
Thabiso,
going.
you went to Thabiso Mchunu, and now you're 50-50.
I'm trying to say
You're going to
something
Thabiso.
offense for me to go for
Okay.
Thabiso. Yeah.
Okay, David Isaacson says Thabiso Mchunu. I'm still 50-50. Let me speak to other expert, Bongani Magasela. Talk to us.
Personally, I want Tommy Oosthuizen to hit Thabiso in the early rounds so that he brings the best of Thabiso. Once you hit Thabiso, then he comes to the party and he does what he needs to do. It happened in his last fight. Bolonti caught him
Yes.
in the early rounds. That was, killing fire with fuel. Thabiso got angry, went straight at him and he took him out. I'm hoping to see that happen. Tommy hitting to Thabiso early in the rounds to bring the best of Thabiso, because in the end, like I said, for me the pressure is on Thabiso to defend his rating. Tommy can lose, he's got nothing to lose basically. But if Thabiso goes in there to say, you know what, this guy has got to come to me and take what I've got, the fight might tend to be a boring affair, but still, I give Thabiso the edge based on two things.
We've got two Thabiso Mchunu.
He is fighting in his weight division. The question will be, will Tommy be able to take, a punch from
The bigger guy.
bigger guy? I don't think so. And Thabiso, for me, has to make sure that he cuts the ring. It doesn't follow Tommy like like he used to. I mean, as he's always done in most of his fights. This one is going to go in there and show the WBC ratings committee and the boxing fraternity that this man is coming in my territory. I am the boss here. Take him out.
So you got Thabiso Mchunu points?
If it happens that Tommy decides to trade,
But you favour Thabiso Mchunu.
yep, he will. He may,
Well, David favours Thabiso Mchunu, you favour Thabiso Mchunu. That's what makes this such an interesting fight. As I said, I'm biased. I'm a Tommy Oosthuizen fan. I'm a friend. But it is a 50-50 fight. I agree with both these experts here. I think it's going to make a great fight if Thabiso Mchunu comes to the party. And if Tommy comes and Tommy hurts him early, then you're going to see a cracker of a fight. I'm leaning towards Tommy Oosthuizen on points. I think Tommy needs this desperately. He needs to get back to winning ways. But a 50-50 fight. Call to glory. 1st of September, ladies and gentlemen. Empress Palace. That's the place to be. Thank you, David. Thank you, Bongani Magasela.